Okay folks, so I decided to make a third video. I said the first video was one of two. I'm gonna make it one of three, and this is gonna be part 2 of 3. But it's gonna be breaking these down, taking them apart, and then reinstalling the new bearings right here, which are assembled in USA. Look at that, that's weird. That's pretty rare. I accidentally got these, and these are seal bearings, so I'm not sure how I crossed that up. I guess this is just an obvious reminder, a warning to pay attention to the parts you're ordering. And it very well could be, if I looked at it, they might have sent me the wrong parts, but it's been so long, I probably can't really complain at this point in time. So I'm stuck with that. And I'll probably use those for something. They're probably seal bearings for the other types of decks that I occasionally replace, so it's probably not the end of the world. I have taken care of this one, but I'll show you how the other two are done, or at least one of them. So what you need to do is just put them on. It does not have to be like grabbed really by the vise. And if you can get it to be somewhat secure, then that's good. You need to kind of punch out move over the spacer so you can get to the bearing, and then pop out the bearing. Once you can do that, and then just try to go back and forth. There, that was quick. See, it's not very hard. They're not pressed in there. It's just, I guess, a seal, so it's pretty easy to come out. And so that's it. All right, folks, so I have made the command decision to paint the outside or the top of these. I'm not going to do the bottom. It's gross, and just don't see the value in doing that, really. They're already kind of messed up quite a bit. But I'm going to paint for mostly aesthetic purposes, as far as you can see these things. Like, once the deck is complete, I'm just going to paint them like the black rust retardant type paint. Nothing super fancy, just something I have on hand. And also I had to dig out these little divots right here. The guy had filled them in with that junk. Golly. Well. Oh shoot. Okay, well, these, along with the second one, are going to require some PB blaster. And we'll come back later. Hey folks, so we got most of these off. So this as you can see right here comes off. It's actually I don't know what you call it, a bushing or sleeve or whatever. It goes over that bolt. That bolt's locked into over there. And then same thing with here. And as you can see, these aren't too bad. Not a whole lot of wear and tear on those. Probably the rear wheels. If you look at this, that thing is like all mangled. Maybe if you put these, as you can see, it's quite a bit worn. You can see it was wobbly too, which shouldn't be surprising looking at it. And I think the other one I had to take off earlier, and it didn't make it into the video. So nonetheless, we got these squared away. I'm actually about to, these are all done, so I'm about to start reassembling those in the next clip. All right folks, so then you get to this point, you can just nail that through or pound on it. Some might come easier than others. This one's not coming at all, so we're going to need some sort of metal to drop this on. I can't remember if I need to reuse these. This is probably important to know. Smacking these up against the thing might not be a good idea. So I probably should have noticed that before. I think this is the only part I need to keep. So actually, it doesn't seem like they've been messed up at all. Not even a little bit. Wow, that's impressive steel. This one, on the other hand, I don't know. This one's pretty. It's been pulled out that far. So I'll use the PB blaster. Drop that stuff everywhere. This is great cinema, isn't it? Tell you what we'll do is we'll put the nut on the end of that pretty far. Of course, that's not gonna allow it to give too much. I'll have to back it off a little bit. Hopefully that'll be fine. Alright, so that's it for that. Okay, so I finally got this one, and it's not out of here yet, but I did get that piece off and threw it away. As you can see, it's pretty dry there, so I think it was just stuck. What I did is put this in a vise, bench vise, put the 1/2 inch on this, and then just kept cranking it with some vice grips until the slider broke free of the bolts, and that worked. I had to do a fair amount of working back and forth before that broke out of that stuff. So, but it's done, so that's good. Okay, so here's how you build one. It's pretty much it's not exactly the same, but it's pretty similar. And I was thinking about getting new bolts, but I don't know why I would really do that. So the difference is these new ones are not curved, as you can see, and they're a little bit shorter, I guess, but they actually go right up against where the bottom part of the curve would, so they're the same length. So it's just a different design. So they actually do fit this just fine. So rip that open. Oops. So you would put that through there. Oh, this must be the difficult one. All right, we'll say the difficult one for when I'm not filming. So we'll stick that in here. That goes in there. And you put the washer on there and the nut. And it's 1/2 inch. So I found it best to use 2 1/2 inch sockets and ratchets. And then the other thing I didn't put here, but so you just want to make sure, it shouldn't be a problem, but you have this grease fitting right here. So, and then this, where is it, sucker? So there's a spot where there's a little part in there that will grease this up. So this, well, that's actually a little bit rougher than I thought. Maybe I make it too tighter. I don't know. Anyways, the other one's a little looser. I already did one right here. This one almost free spins. So maybe I should get new. I think it's fine. I mean, these things aren't really supposed to roll that much. So just keep that in mind. You know, if they're touching too much, then you have the deck is too low, or your gauge wheels are too low. One of the two. Oops, I do that every time. All right, folks, we'll see if we can do this one a little better. You're only going to see me do one of these, and it'll be the better one, so I don't look like an idiot when I'm trying to do the other one. This is the second one. And yes, I will screw up sometimes, and you won't see that part. That's planned. I mean, screw up part's not planned, but you're not seeing the screwed up part as planned. So we got that greased up. We'll so this goes in there. It should go a lot further than that, but it does not. I'm gonna bust this sucker out, try to get this one greased up so it's ready. Okay, folks, so keep in mind you want to not forget the spacer that goes between both bearings, and that is, I'm not going to forget it here, but I have forgotten it when I've done deck rebuilds before. So you get the first bearing in, then when you flip it over, the next thing you put in is the spacer, and then you put the bearing in. So it goes, I don't know why it necessarily needs it, I guess more stability or something. I'm really not sure why. Oh, I guess it's to keep the bearings apart. Now that probably makes sense. There's not, they can actually probably slide around in there maybe. Maybe that's the part of the deal, I don't know. Maybe an engineer or somebody that knows a little bit more about this could probably, you know, opine with better information than I have. But in any case, you don't want to forget the spacer. You want to have a bearing on either end, and then the spacer in the middle, and then of course the seal on both ends as well. Pump that on there, flip it over, drop this sucker down there. Oh no, wait. Whoop, 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 whoop. Slap that in there. That is the spacer. We'll slap in there. Then we put this bearing in there. There are no doubt better methods of greasing up your items other than just sticking them in the almost empty can of grease and also pounding them in with sockets. There are probably better tools for this. I don't always have the tools that I would like to have for these kind of jobs, so I make do with what I have, and there will be people that will take issue with that, and it is what it is. But anyways, that's my advice there. Okay, and then the last part, I don't think I'm forgetting anything here. This doesn't need to be real greasy because you already got a bunch of grease in there. Well, if you do it like I do, you already have a bunch of grease in there. This is probably excessive grease, but it's a fast rotating item, so keep that in mind. And then it's got to be, there we go. All right. And we got the folks, that is spindle number 2. I think it went together better than spindle number 3. I mean number 1. Number 3 is yet to come. That one I'm not going to video. You get the idea. So, all right, folks. Well, look at that. The light came on because that light is out. It's weird. I was trying to figure out which light was out, and I always think it's one of these, like, ceiling lights, but actually it was the work light, which actually is on the ceiling too. But whatever. So these are taken care of. I did put the little guard thing on them. They just slide on. It's like a compression fit. Still got some grease on there. Still grease on there too. Anyway, so all these are done. They rotate pretty nicely, and no noise. I do have to tighten the nuts still on them a little bit, and then I have to take care of all this. They do have a diagram here. I might look at the Deere site too, just to make sure. And then these blades are in actually pretty good shape. They just need to be sharpened. They're actually in really good shape. And all this is new. And then I also have these, the new wheels, And then also, I was thinking, should I clean up these old bearings and maybe use them for the next project, or should I just chuck them? So they seem to be in like halfway decent shape, except for other than like gray looking, you know, grease, but that can be cleaned out. Anyways, just some thoughts there. But anyway, I will pick you guys up in the next video when I get the deck back and I assemble everything. I will that'll be the last part of this video series on the 54-inch deck for the 4X5 series. If you like this video, hit the like button. I'd appreciate that. And if you wanted to see more videos about John Deere garden tractors, you can hit the subscribe button as well. Thanks. Bye. Okay, folks, so look what I picked up today. I've actually had the rest of this video done for a couple weeks, but just figured I would wait until I got closer to picking this thing up. So today I did pick it up, so I should have the rest of the video pretty shortly here.